our first lesson of SYBA lecture, communication skills in English. Okay, so dear student, in this lecture we shall be going to study what is the meaning of communication. Okay, then second topic is the definitions of communication. Then next we'll discuss two-way process of communication, feedback of the message by sender and receivers, and then we shall be discussing classifications of the channels of communication. Then our last point would be 7C, characteristic of effective communication. First, let us have a glance over the first terms, communication. What is communication? A process by which individuals mutually exchange their ideas, values, thoughts, feelings and action with one or more people is known as communication. What is the meaning of communication? Communication means mutual exchange of thoughts, ideas among two individuals. There must be a two individual is necessary to communicate. Alone we cannot communicate with a wall. Okay, so what is important, two individual is a must for making the process of communication successful. So here the meaning is that communication means exchange of ideas. Okay, suppose you are not feeling well. Okay, when you are going at home, so what happened to you? Then what will happen? You will share your views and ideas after going home from college to home to your mummy or daddy. Today what happened in the college? Okay, so whatever means thoughts you are having in your mind, whatever thoughts you are bearing in your minds, that you are going to exchange with your father and mother at the home. Okay, it is the exchange of ideas, values, whatever it may be, thoughts, feelings and action with one or more people. Okay, so this thing is very important. So communication is a two-way process. One man cannot make a communication. So that is why the educationists, the experts, they give different definitions of communication. Okay, one expert, he says that education is the development of individual in a sound mind in a sound body. So that is the definition of education. But what happened, that education experts, they say that when the child takes a birth, from his birth to the tomb, when he will die, from that moment he started communicating. Okay, he will weep. Then what will happen when he will become 5 years of age? If suppose you will tell them this is you will make a discrimination, you will tell them that region is not good. Okay, so don't be in the company of that boy. Okay, he is having different religion. So like that way you can with poison you will put in the mind of the child of 5 to 7 years of age. Then what will happen? He will follow the instruction of mummy and daddy. So their mind is very sharp, and at that moment their mind is grasping the understanding. Whatever if input you will give, if you will give negative input, then definitely child accept that negative input and he will behave in that manner. So that is why upbringing of the children, nourishing is very important. So that is why our education starts from when we take the birth. Okay, and up to the tomb, when we will die, then when you will be put into the burial ground, then your education is going to come to an end when you will die. Okay, so communication is the most powerful tool to influence the masses. You can take the example of political leaders. They are having they are having that criminal background. So what happened, on the basis of religion, on the basis of their powerful speech, communication, what they are doing, they are influencing a large number of masses, and in this way they are becoming the winners in the election. So communication is the most powerful tool which is used to exchange from one individual to another individual. Okay, it is the exchange of ideas, values, thought, feeling and action with one or more people. Means two person is a must. When political leaders he deliver speech, so at that time what happened, he influenced a large number of lakhs of people okay, by his speech, by his tone, by his body language, and body language is very important in this communication process. So your body language works near about how much? Near, the expert says that 97%. and 3% is the content, and 97% depend on how you are giving the influence to your speech, how you are going to change the sentence structure, how you will influence the people with the emotion. So most of the political leaders, what they are doing, they are influencing the people with the emotion. Okay, they are yes, with the help of emotion they attack a large number of crowds, and in this way what happened, on the basis of religion, the voters, what they does, they become united with that leader and they vote for that political leaders, and in this way anybody, criminal background, murderer, rapist, whoever it may be, that leader, they are becoming the winner in the election. So these things are there. So on the basis of communication they are doing all these things. So communication is the most powerful tool, okay, and that individual, it requires two individuals that will mutually, they will exchange their ideas, values, thought, feelings and action with one or more people. Now come to the second definition, meaning of the communication: transfer of information. It is a transfer of information from the sender to the receiver, that it can be understood in the right context. Whatever message you are sending, that must be in a right context. It should not go out of the context. So communication, when we are sending the message, our message should be clear. It is a concrete, and it must be understandable for the receiver to whom you are sending. Sender means what? The person who is sending the message. So here I am delivering a lecture. So here what I am, primary source of the communication is a teacher. I am delivering the message to a large number of students who are seated in the class. So I am the sender and my target audience are the student. So you are the receiver. Whatever I am saying in this video, so I am the sender, I am the primary source of information, and I am supplying and transmitting, I am doing the exchange of thoughts and ideas to the student. So who is the first source of message? Teacher. And who is the recipient? Who is receiving? Students are the recipient. They are the receiver of this message. They are dragging whatever I am saying, they are bearing in their mind and they are understanding. Okay, so that is the transfer of information. I am doing a transform of information with the help of communication. Sender to the receiver, that it can be understood in the right context, and it must be understood in the right context. When the student will understand the topic in the right context, then what will happen? They will give me a feedback in the form of assessment, in the form of exam, in the form of verbal communication, whether they have understood or not understood the topic, or whether they will give in written non-verbal form of the communication. So have you understood this much? Transfer of information from the sender to the receiver, that it can be understood in the right context. It must be understood the student in a simple language. When this sender, he is passing the information, he should use the lucid language, means easy language, so that the receiver, they could understand in a better way, in a positive way, for positive action. Now next, definitions of communication. So there are, this is the meaning. Now definitions of various scholars have given various opinions and views regarding this communication. So now let us glance on the first one. Communication is derived from the Latin word communis. Latin word communis means what? Establishing commonness. Establishing commonness. The main purpose of communication is to influence behavior. Just now I give the example of the political leaders with the help of religious ground. What they are doing, they are targeting the emotions of their voters, target audience, and in this way they are making discrimination among Hindus and Muslims, and they are becoming the political leaders. Okay, they don't have any kind of background. So anybody is becoming the MLA and MP. So the communist means commonness. The main purpose of communication is to influence behavior. The main purpose of communication is to influence behavior. So these political leaders are influencing the behavior. Once they will influence the behavior, then they will become the winner. Okay, these things are happening nowadays in the politics in our country. Communication is the most powerful tool which influence the behavior. Okay, for example, these political leaders, they are giving different slogan. For example, Narendra Modi, he says that सबका विकास, सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास, like that he is saying that. So in this way, what happened? He is influencing the behavior of the individual voters, and they will think, yes, this prime minister, he's talking about us, he's talking about our progress. Okay, and in this way, what will happen? They will vote for the BJP party. Okay, so in this way, they are chanting different slogans so as to influence the behavior. For example, Indira Gandhi, she says that Garibi Hatao, okay, during those times, 1975. So even poverty is there. Poverty has not finished in our country. Till the people, they are suffering due to lockdown situation and coronavirus pandemic disease. So the main purpose of the communication is to influence behavior. Okay. Next, according to Holland, communication involves individual which transmit stimuli. Communication involves individual which transmit means transform, so that it can be changed behavior of the communicator. One example I would like to give on this definition is that communication involves individual that transmit stimuli. Stimuli means emotion, to so that it can be changed the behavior of the communicator. For example, now on this the definition, I would like to give one example of the child. When the child, when he is very young, okay, means near about 2 years, okay, or 1.5 or 2 years age. So that child, what happened? When he will become grown up, 2-3 years, his growth takes place. So at that time, the child, if he sees the dog, okay, then a mother says that boo boo. Boo boo means what? On the basis of this sound, the child, he says that to the dog, he gives the means terminology. Boo boo. Boo boo means on that on the basis of voice, he understands, he grasps, his stimulus is means developing. And in this way, whenever he sees the next time to the dog, what he will say? Boo boo. Okay, when he sees the cat says mew mew. So then what happened? He after looking the cat, he will create the sound of that cat. On the basis of sound, he is encoding the message in his mind. Who? Their child. Okay, so these things are there. So communication involves individual which transform stimuli. So he is transformed the stimuli is dog and cat by giving the new terminology. Okay, stimulus. Okay, his emotion he has transformed by the sound. On the basis of the sound, he is giving the name to the object. One more example. When the child, 3-4 years age child, what happened? He touched the burning candle, and what happened? His hand is burned. So he started weeping. So the next time that child, he will not go nearby the candle. So what he learned from the candle? He learned that after touching that candle, it gives me pain. So what happened? He learns that is a dangerous object. So at the age of, that's why experts, psychologists, they say that the child up to 5 to 7 years of age, their mind is continuously learning. Their memory is very fast, and that's why if you will give negative input, then definitely the child will learn negative thing. If you give him positive output, then he will be grow in a positive environment aura. So this is the definitions of the communication. Have you understood? Now, dear student, it comes to the process of communication. So for the process of communication, there must be a sender and receiver. So I am the primary source. I am passing the message, and the person who receives or heard the message in the verbal or non-verbal form. So that is the process of communication. So it requires how many? 2 individuals. I am passing the message. Just now I gave the example of student in the class seated. So I am the primary source of transmitting the message to the student. Okay, so directly I am in the class, I am giving the lecture. So I am the primary source of the communication, and you are the secondary. You are the receiver. You are recipient. You are receiving my message. Okay, and later on you are giving me feedback. So this is the process. Feedback process is the later process, but the first one is sender. What message I am giving? I am delivering the message, and you are the receiver. They are receiving the message. So I am the deliverer, and you are the recipient. Okay. So communication always required 2-way process, and minimum 2 person is a must. Is a requirement of the communication process. Now feedback when the communication process ends. After giving the lecture, you are going at home, you are doing the study, and later on next day you are coming to the class and you are bringing the queries to me and you are giving the feedback. Okay, so that is the feedback process. So feedback who will give? The receiver. Student will give the receiver whether how I am teaching, whether they have understood or not. So okay, whatever lacuna gaps are coming, the student they are giving the message. Receiver send message. Receiver here, for example, student they are giving me the feedback to the sender, verbal or non-verbal. It may be in a verbal written form or it may be in a oral form. Okay, so if a feedback is having a two form, either verbal or non-verbal form. Okay, so this is the feedback. So this is the process of communication. So here we have learned meaning of communication, and next we have learned definitions of communication. Then next is communication is a two-way process. Then after completing the communication process, what is a must feedback. When the feedback you will give, then only I will come to know where I am lacking. So what is my weakness and what is my strength. So the positive criticism always boosts the morale of the means that primary source here sender. Okay, here you can consider the teacher. Teacher is the primary source. So if you will give me a feedback, then definitely what would happen? I will improve myself. Okay, that is very important thing. Now next, classification of the channels of communication. Now our next point is classification of the channels of communication. What are the channels of communication? First I have written visual channel, auditory channel, tactile, then combined channel. Okay, so first visual channel. It is said by the educationists, psychologists and experts that in communication your body language create a very positive role. Okay, most of the student they can understand by the gesture, by the body language, by my action what I am saying. Sometimes without saying any word. So what happened? Our hands, our gesture, our good posture of the body is speaking itself. Okay, what the speaker is willing to say. Now facial expression, body language, posture, gestures, mail, mass media, etc. are the visual channel. Visual means you can see me, how I am teaching. You can see my face also, facial expression, my body language, how I am delivering the lecture, what I am saying, what example I am giving. Postures means body posture in a erect manner, gesture by the hand. Okay, then next mass media, mail are the visual channel. You can see my actions, my gesture, my posture. So visual channel include channels of communication are, first one is visual channel. So visual channel is very important. For example, if I say for example this radio jockey you might have heard. So if you simply you are there, you are seeing simply the radio jockey is delivering the message. So there we cannot only with the auditory sense we understand. So we cannot learn the body language of radio jockey on the radio. Why? Because simply is speaking. And here in the live video you can see my body language. You can inherit some good qualities from me while looking this video. Now auditory means spoken words, sound, telephone, mail, mobile communication. Auditory, mobile communication, telephone, sound. So these are coming in auditory channels. Okay, so visual is when you are seeing by your naked eye, body gesture, position, expression through mail and mass media. Auditory, visual comes in visual comes in the means facial expression and all you are seeing. It is connected by our eye. Then next, auditory is connected with our ear. Only we are hearing. Okay, we are only hearing. If you want to become a good speaker, so first you should develop your listening skill. Once you develop your listening skill, then definitely what will happen? You will imitate. You go home and see that video, what motivational experts they are delivering the video, and you imitate in front of mirror, then definitely you will become a good speaker. Then auditory is related to spoken words. Okay, only you can hear. Then tactile is a touch. With the help of touch, you can convey the message. You can convey the message. The communication takes place with the help of sense of touch. See here, touch is a sensation. Touch is a sensation. For example, tactile channels are those channels you are walking on the road. Okay, sometime what happened, you are walking on the road, the dogs they are barking at you. Okay, so what you will do, you will throw the pelt the stone at the dog. What will happen, the dog he will come to you, he will attack you. Okay, sometime what happens, small kids what they are doing, they are dragging the tail of the cat. So cat what she will do, she will directly punch to you. Okay, so what happened, tactile is a touch sensation. It means what, once you drag the leg or the tail of the cat, so what will happen, cat will become angry, she will give you punch. Dog will become angry, he will give you punch, he will bark on you. So in this way it means what, this channel is showing that species means dogs, animals, they are not happy with you. They are feeling very angry. Why? Because you drag that tail of that dog and cat, and that's why they are angry. So they will punch you. So what you have done, you have touched their body. You have heard the sentiment of that species, dog and cat. So tactile is related with sense of touch. Now next, combined channel. Combined channels are associated with audio visual media consoling a person with touch and spoken words. Example I have given here. See this dead one. Here try to understand this one. Combine. For example, in any your relatives or your near ones or dear one, he is expired. So what happened? So we are going to their home, and we are going to the home, and we are giving consolation to that relatives of that deceased who is no more now. Okay, so in this what happened, they are getting satisfaction. Audio visual, we are speaking we are saying some good words, we are giving consolation to that relatives of that disease who is dead now. So visual media, visual media, where you can see it, that persons are weeping, in the family somebody has expired. Consoling a person with touch, we are embracing them with touch, sense of touch, we are by speaking few words. So that is known as combined channel. So combined channel is used where wherever means some person has expired, death has taken place, so there we are going and giving our consolation. Okay, and that is known as combined channel. So here we have studied classification of channel. Communication, visual channel is associated with our eyesight, auditory is associated with ear, we are hearing, tactile is associated with touch, sense of touch, and combined is associated with whenever any person has died in any family. So what happened, we are going and we are embracing them, we are giving them consolation, so that the person who is dead, for them pray it, like that we are saying, Almighty God may give him that heaven, like that way. So consolation word we are saying, that is a combined channel. Now come to the effective communication. 7 C's means characteristics of effective communication. Characteristic of effective communication means 7 C's. What are first characteristic? Clarity. Your message must be very clear. Whatever message you are delivering to the receiver, he must understand. There must be a clarity of thoughts. There must be a linking words one after another. One idea is finished, second idea is associated with one another. Clarity. Correctness. There should not be a spelling mistake. Second C. Avoid technical jargon. And next thing is that whatever you are giving message, it must be in a simple language. Correctness, grammatical mistake should be avoided. Then next, completeness. Don't give incomplete sentence or message. Your message, what you are giving, should be complete, in a complete form, should not incomplete. For example, one idea you started and after completing one idea, completing one idea, you are putting another idea. Then what happened? You are doing the means keeping the gap. Then you are catching third and fourth, and you are not completing first and second completely. Incomplete information you are giving, and in this way your message would not become effective. Okay. Then next, concreteness. So whatever message you are drafting, it should be concrete. It should be legible to the receiver who is receiving your message. Then next is the conciseness. Conciseness means brief, short, but complete. Your message should be short, but it would be in a complete form. Okay. Then next is a courtesy. Courtesy is a politeness. Politeness is also very important part of the effective communication. Whenever, for example, you are going in to deliver any speech, so at that time you should be polite. You should not become hyper. You should not become very angry on the audience. You should be you should be cheerful. You should be always be considerate towards your audience, target audience. Then next, conclusion, and there must be a short conclusion. Okay, so conclusion. In conclusion, you should specify whatever you are taught in a short. You have to wind up. Okay, sum up your speech. So these are very important when you are going to deliver a speech. In a speech, these 7 C's are coming. Okay, first one, clarity. First, when you are going to deliver a speech, at that time, what type of audience are there? The leader, for example, they knew very well what type of audience are there. So what should I tell them? So how this audience are going to applaud me? Okay, so all these things they are studying, they are doing the drafting, and then they are coming in front of the people, and they are giving the speech, and then they were becoming the winner. So clarity is very important. There must be a clarity of thoughts. Thought process must be very clear. Correctness, avoid grammatical error, technical jargon, okay, big sentence, ambiguous sentence, double meaning sentence. So all this should be avoided. The next, completeness. Your speech should have a complete form. Once the third you started and you are putting another and you are not completed first one and jumping to third and fourth, you should not do like this. Okay. Concreteness, it should be very clear what you are saying. It must be understandable. It must be understandable for that people of that society. Then conciseness is a brief but short, but to the meaning, and it should be to the point and context what you are saying. Courtesy, there must be a politeness, and last would be the conclusion. So these are the 7 C's, means 7 characteristics of the effective communication. And some tips I would like to give you. If suppose you want to become a big orator, first listen to the motivational speaker, how they are speaking. Okay, take their video on YouTube and you imitate at the mirror. Okay, and once listening is very important. If you want to become a good orator, first listen how the great leaders, how they are giving the speech, and imitate. Okay, and body language is very important in any speech or in any non-verbal in verbal form of communication. It is very important, body language. Okay, when you are going to for interview, so at that time also you have to apply your facial expression must be in positive direction, your body language, posture, gesture, and your warmness, how you are getting the people, shaking the hand. So all these things are very important. Okay, so it comes in interview, it is coming in verbal form of communication. Speech is also coming in the verbal form of communication. So these are the 7 C's, 7 characteristics of effective communication. And if we have to make the practice after going home, you should always practice, then only you will become a good and effective communicator. So these are the 7 C's of the characteristic of the effective communication. So dear student, today we have covered how much? Meaning of the communication. Our first point is the meaning of the communication, meaning. Then we have discussed this definition of communication. Then we have studied classification of the communication. Okay, classification of the communication. There are this channel of communication, then 7 C's of the effective communication. So dear student, if you are having any doubt, regarding this first lecture of our first class of SYBA, then please you give your comment on our comment box section of the YouTube channel. So thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you.